Hello and welcome to another episode of Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today we have another knife review. This one's pretty cool. I've been looking for this knife for a while, and that is the Spyderco Sage 5. Spyderco Sage 5. Alright, so I'm going to read off some specs and we'll get into the blade. Overall length of the knife is 7.2 inches. The blade length is about 3 inches. Cutting edge is 2.64 inches. The handle length is 4.17 inches. The handle thickness is 0.43 inches. And the weight of this guy that I've seen says it's around 3.2 ounces, but we got a scale, so we'll weigh it. And just so you know, the blade length, the cutting edge is smaller than the blade length because part of the blade is reserved for this finger choil up front here. So we got our scale zeroed out. Send the knife on, and like I said, some places I saw online saying it was about 3.2 ounces. This is clearly less. It's 3.12 ounces. So right around the 3-ounce mark, which is really good for a good pocket carry knife. In my opinion, a good size knife or weight for urban EDC or EDC in general is around 3. That's kind of the money-making spot for me. Especially urban EDC should be 3 ounces, around 3 ounces or less. So that definitely qualifies. So let's check it out. Really cool blade shape. If you don't know about the Sage series, Spyderco created the Sage series to highlight different locking mechanisms for knives. So every variation of the Sage has a different locking mechanism. I think the first original Sage one was actually a liner lock. Then they did a titanium frame lock. They had a bolt action lock, which is similar to like an axis lock, but there's a pin that goes in. They have what else do they have? There's 4, and then I think there's like a cage ball lock, maybe, I don't know. And then they have this one, and the locking mechanism on this one is a compression lock, which Spyderco created and put on the very popular Paramilitary 2. But all the Sages more or less have the same handle shape and same blade shape. So blade shapes like this spear point leaf drop point design, which is very classic of Spyderco. It is a full flat grind down to that secondary bevel there, the cutting edge. We have the Spyderco logo there, and then we have Spyderco CPM S30V, large Spyderco hole. Then on the other side, it is made in Taichung, Taiwan, which Spyderco produces a lot of really quality knives from Taichung, Taiwan, or Taichung, Taiwan, wherever it is. But really good. Fit and finish on this thing is beast. The blade is S30V. Spyderco does an excellent job with S30V. And the spine, I wouldn't say it's super sharp, but definitely sharp enough that you could probably throw some sparks off. Now, typically, the Sage also has some more premium handle scales, or look a little bit more classy. They've had titanium and carbon fiber. This is a G10 carbon fiber laminate, but the unique thing with this is that it is textured. It is a textured carbon fiber laminate. So usually carbon fiber is much more slick and it's very smooth, and so there's not much traction to it. This actually has a very nice kind of, I want to say dimpled, but it's almost like there's tiny little mounds, and it gives you a good amount of traction, and the carbon fiber look is still kind of there, and it's just awesome. I really like it. Really, really cool stuff. It feels like G10, but it has that carbon fiber look, and yeah, just great. On the blade too, there's choil, or there's not finger choils, but jimping on both sides to add grip, and it's sufficient enough to really lock in, so that's good. And then the hand cutout is a 2 positionable handle, so we got the full grip there, or it can bite up on it and get into those finger choils to do some finer close work, which I love knives that have that. I absolutely love it because I love getting in there and doing some fine work. So now, because there's no cutout for a liner lock or a frame lock, it's very uniform all the way through. We have our pivot pin. It is an open pillar construction, so we have a couple pillars with a tubed lanyard hole. And then if you look into the liners, it is milled out to help with weight. Keep it down to that around 3 ounce mark. Yeah, and then if you look up top, there is some jimping recessed into the liners. I don't find it very effective, the jimping in there. I mean, you get a little bit, but not as good as like what you'd find on a PM2. So that's kind of whatever, no big deal. And then, of course, we have the compression lock. So on the back side, we have the cutout for the compression lock, which pinches and then disengages the knife. The nice thing about it is you don't have to put your finger in the way of the closing blade. You just pinch and it closes. And then you can pinch and open it as well. It is more designed for a right-hand pinch user, but I've seen lefties use it fine as well. There are bronze phosphorus bushings in here, so it deploys smooth enough, very smooth, and it's good. And then it has a wire deep carry pocket clip, which is my favorite pocket clip. It's a lighter pocket clip. When you carry it, people just think you have a paper clip in your pocket, and it's very inconspicuous. It doesn't reflect a lot of light or anything, and it's awesome. So this is a two-way positionable, tip-up only right or left-hand carry. And then two, all the hardware is recessed into the handle scales, so nothing's really sticking out other than the screw for the pocket clip barely sticks out. So super awesome. Love this knife. This is definitely one of my new favorite EDCs. Some quick comparisons though. I want to say that size-wise, I'm going to compare it to some knives, but I just want to say feature-wise, if you like, because this is still my number one urban EDC knife. I think this is the best knife for urban carry. It's lightweight, has decent steel. It is the Spyderco Cat. It's thin, pocketable, deep carry pocket clip wire, and all the hardware is flat. There's definitely a lot of things shared here between these and some of the other Spyderco knives, like the Spyderco Chaparral. But if you're a fan of the Cat, you're probably going to love the Sage 5 because it is basically really similar in features. G10 wise, blade shape, and pocket clip are all similar, and it's just a little bit bigger. So I love this blade. This is my favorite urban EDC for sure, but this feels just as good in pocket and even better in hand because you have a full grip. So if you like the Cat and you want something with a little bit bigger handle to grip up on or jimping, then get the Sage 5. Highly recommend it if you're a fan of that. So really cool there. The other thing is comparing compression locks to like the PM2. First off, if you're a fan of PM2 but you think it's a little too big, go for the Sage 5. Exact same materials other than the handle. This is just regular G10. This is carbon fiber laminate. But other than that, same materials. S30V blades, G10, stainless steel, compression lock, and the pocket clip. You're probably going to like the pocket clip better. It's deep carry instead of having this big chunk hanging out. So if you're a fan of this one and you want something a little smaller to carry, go for this one. They do make a PM3 now, I think, paramilitary 3. That's going to be similar in size to this. But from what I've heard, I think this is going to be the better, more pocketable option. Plus, it's deep carry, and it just feels rugged and robust. The carbon fiber G10 just gives it a really solid feel. And two, because it is carbon fiber G10, it does have a little bit more classier look. So this definitely would count as a gentleman's carry as well. So that being said, let's compare it in size. We got that. We have the Benchmade North Fork. We have the Kershaw Skyline. And just for fun, we'll throw on a Kershaw blur. Kershaw blur. So now, as you can see, blade length wise, it's similar to all these knives. It's just that the blur and the Skyline have a little bit more, like half an inch to a quarter of an inch. Handle wise, it's similar to the Skyline and to the North Fork. They're all kind of similar. Obviously, the blur is a little bit bigger. I'd say blade length wise is most similar to the Benchmade North Fork. So now we'll look at blade thickness. So we have blade thickness. It's about the same on the blur. It is thicker than the Skyline. Handle thickness, that's the other nice thing. It is a fairly thin handle profile. So the handle is thinner than the blur. The Skyline is thinner in blade and handle. And then the North Fork, about the same thickness. Maybe the North Fork's just a hair thicker, and the handle is thicker as well. So, awesome. Now for the final test, we have the ugly brown glove test. So, first off, handle texture feels actually pretty good. I actually can pinch and get a decent grip just because it's textured now. So not as smooth as regular carbon fiber. So that's a plus. Definitely for a cloth glove like this. Deployment, finger hole works great. The first grip here feels really good in hand. Doesn't really slide because it has that choil. The little bit of jimping there is okay. I can even reach up there. Once I lock into that choil, the jimping locks in really well. And yeah, this is not slipping at all. So that is awesome. Definitely passes. Really impressive there. And then the compression lock. Okay, so that's where we're getting into a little bit of a hang up. Is that the compression lock isn't that easy with a cloth glove just because you have to get your finger in there. So, but it is doable. Definitely not as easy as a liner lock or some other locks, but definitely works. So, pretty good. Ugly brown glove test. I give it a pass. I'd say about 75 to 80%. So, actually really good. I was really impressed with the texture of that. So, awesome. So there you have it, folks. This is the Spyderco Sage 5. Really cool knife. Definitely a classic. Great materials, great size, thin profile, lightweight, 3 ounces. Definitely urban EDC quality in general. It feels robust enough that you could actually take this out and do some work out in the woods too. So lightweight backpacking knife. Like I said, urban EDC should be under 3 ounces. Backpacking knives should be under 3 ounces. So if you're looking for a quality S30V blade, compression lock, great for backpacking, check this one out as well for those campers out there. And urban EDC all the way, gentleman's carry all the way, tactical, maybe not, but definitely good. Thank you guys. Give me a thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the eye in the upper right-hand corner for other links to videos, and I'll see you guys outside. Thank you.